Thank you very much. So in this presentation, I analyze two concepts. Just a second. Oops, it appears again the problem. Okay. In this presentation, I analyze two concepts which are on the border between the two domains, the domain of emotions and the domain of values. And these are the concepts of pleasure, merak, and spite, inak, in the Serbian language. A cultural concept of pleasure, merak, was considered to be a very important concept in the Balkans. My interest for this concept was triggered by the two texts that I found in the Serbian broadsheet newspapers Politics and Danas Today. As an illustration of the concept in the context, I will cite some excerpts from these newspaper articles for the first meaning of the concept, and you can read my NSM explication on this slide. So merak is a concept coming from Turkish to the Serbian language, but it originates from Arabic. Merak can be translated from Turkish as enjoyment, pleasure, passion, desire, ecstasy. If translated from Arabic, maraki, it means fineness, sophistication, subtlety, tenderness, gentleness, but also hypochondria, will to do something, delight, pleasant mood. When a person pronounces the word merak, he or she does that slowly with a lot of passion, respect, to let the interlocutor know what the value and the quality of the concept is. Merak befits the sensibility of a man who lives relaxed, at ease, spontaneously, who solves life issues without nervousness and hasty reactions. Merak is something small, warm, dear, and sweet to the soul, relaxing and healing, a little thing that knows how to comfort, motivate, to make a person happy. It can give a person an astonishing taste in quite simple rituals. For example, while eating cakes, drinking coffee, smoking a cigarette. Compared to pleasure, merak is our choice, while pleasure can be triggered by others. Merak lasts longer, while pleasure is limited in time. When people are in merak, people are in the present without the shadow of the past and the future. The most famous in the Balkans are sensual or hedonistic, tavern, intellectual, spiritual, bohemian, poetic, philosophical, musical, artistic, national meraks. There are no two identical meraks. Each of us has his own intimate merak. Merak is Oriental nirvana in the Balkan way. The second meaning of merak refers to a subject who thinks about something, very much wants the realization of this something, but cannot have it at a particular moment in time. Our second concept that I wanted to introduce here is inak, spite. You can read my NSN explication on this slide. According to the psychotherapist, Dr. Milivojevic, defiance or spite is a reactive feeling. There must always be some previous request addressed to the person to which he reacts in spite. People defy when they are required to do something that they do not even consider unjustified and humiliating. The great and strong resistance they show arises because people associate it with their identity and self-esteem. A person who defies believes that if he complied with a given request, he would lose self-esteem or respect from others. The word inat came from Turkish, where it means a firm conviction. According to Dr. Milivojevic, the two types of people have a problem with the authorities. Those who always have to execute a request of the other person, and those who always have to oppose the request from the other person. In both cases, the person is not free to choose his reaction, which is predetermined by the action of the authority. It is paradoxical that those who constantly defy, oppose even when the authority requires them to do what they themselves think is good for them, and what they would do only if the authority did not order them to do so. Then the person gives up his desire so that the authority or the audience would not think that he is obedient. Since this type of stubbornness show people how associate self-esteem with the opinion that the others have about them, every inak, even collective, is an infantile feeling. People outgrow defiance when they stop associating their own self-esteem with others. Theorist in culture studies, Božović, believes that the demonstration of inak is associated with the game of stereotypes, because when our idea is called into question, we do our best to hit the image that destroys it. When we are stubborn, we demonstrate the power of prejudice we possess. Stubbornness always comes in a package with revenge. Božović also believes that although it comes from the Turkish word, inat is usually defined as a Serbian delicacy, which is difficult to translate into other languages, so it is perceived as the Serbian brand. Inat is a matter of collective mental heritage. That is why it is difficult to dispute too, because it belongs to the concept of long duration. It naturally goes with revenge according to the principle, now we will show you who we are and what we are like. Based on the quoted opinions, it can be concluded that the spite has a negative meaning in the first place. However, in the Serbian collective consciousness, there is also a stereotype of spite as a positive feature. For example, during an interview, the Serbian basketball player Nikola Jokic, who plays currently for NBA, stated about spite in the following way. In my opinion, it is a positive thing mentally. It motivates you to fight. There is courage in it as well. It is hard to explain, but it can definitely be a good thing. For example, when you get stuck because of a rival and you decide he won't give me any more points. Thank you.